Hey everybody, it's Monty again with Everybody Loves Deals with Monty. And today I'm sitting in a 2021 Mercedes Benz GLC 300. I recently traded for this vehicle. It belonged to to a customer that lived down in the Austin area, worked for the state government. And so very well taken care of. You can tell that it was pampered, it was babied. Um, it was garage kept. It's super clean. In fact, the driver, whenever he came back with it, he said, "Man, that was the nicest trade-in vehicle I've ever driven back for somebody." And so that says a lot since he's been driving for us for multiple years now. So that was pretty impressive. So I took it out and drove it, and it was great. I thought it drove great. It was super clean when it came in. Didn't need a whole lot as far as didn't have broken pieces, broken parts, anything like that. Everything was intact. The, I mean, you could tell they took really good care of the vehicle. Garage kept, like I said, and I was impressed with it. And I wanted to show you today because, man, we don't get these kinds of vehicles that come in very often. The only thing that I found on this car that might be any type of issue is on the windshield. There's a chip and a scratch, and we felt like that we had the chip filled so that way it doesn't spread. And so, but we felt that the cost that would be incurred to replace the windshield, obviously, guess where that gets passed along? That gets passed along to the customer. So we have chosen not to replace the windshield, and we have chosen to reflect that in the pricing of the vehicle. That's why it's priced as low as it is. So if that's something that you would, if you decided, if this was a vehicle for you, you decided you wanted, I can get pricing for a new windshield, and that's obviously something we can have installed. Obviously we'd have to add it to the price, but because we did not do it, we took that into consideration when we priced it, so we backed it off some for that reason. So but it's a beautiful car. Like I said, power seats, 3 memory seating. It's loaded to the gills. It's got your panoramic sunroof. Just a super nice, super clean vehicle. I'm going to walk around it here in just a minute and let you take a look. As you can see, it is super clean. Um, the only thing that you may find is we have a problem with birds out here, and they may have left their mark. But other than that, I don't notice any real dents or scratches or anything. Um, like I said, it's fixing to be a 5-year-old vehicle, and I mean you can tell it's been garage kept, super clean. I just can't reiterate that enough. And then I wanted to show you the windshield. I don't know if you can see this in the glare or not, but right in there, and I can't see because of the sun, but that's where the chip is. And so I wanted to let you see that, so that way, if that's something you wanted to have replaced, then we could certainly check into pricing on that for you. But like I said, we chose not to because we really wanted to make sure we kept the price down, especially for such a nice vehicle. So there is the exterior of the vehicle. I think what I'll do is I'm going to hop in and give you some views of the inside and see what you think. All right, I'm inside of this thing, and it looks like it's awful bright, so it's going to be hard for you to see some of this stuff. 60,464 is the odometer, so they did drive it, so it didn't spend a lot of time in the shop because, of course, down there in Austin, I'm guessing you put a lot of miles on just driving across town. But there's your radio, your infotainment screen. There's your vents, your AC vents, and all your controls for your heating and cooling, your comfort. And then below that, you've got your navigation, your radio, and all your hazards and all your connectivity stuff is right there. And this is what I was talking about a little earlier. How cool is this? It's like having a little mouse pad, or like I used to think of it as like the old Activision um, video game system where you had the little roller at the bottom. It's pretty neat. You don't see that very often, but you can see the interior is absolutely immaculate. there is nothing wrong with the interior. It has been very well cleaned, taken care of, and it came in this way. Like I said, we had it detailed, but there was not much to detail. There was not a whole lot to it. So there's a view for the back seat. There is your panoramic sunroof. That's a lot of sunroof. But like I said, it is pretty warm today in Henrietta, Texas, and so I don't know that I'm going to open that up. I'm enjoying the nice cool breeze sitting in here. There's your memory seats, your power windows, your power mirrors, your power locks, your heated seat controls over here, and then down below is your hatch release. And of course, on your steering wheel, you've got your cruise and your hands-free talking system. So I'm going to hop in the back seat and give you a view from the back and see what you think. And I'll be right back with you shortly. And as you can see, this back seat, if my camera will cooperate, I'm giving you every view but there we go. You can see the back seat is absolutely clean as a whistle. And you can see the leg room, pardon my legs, but I had that seat all the way back, so because I'm long-legged in the front when I was sitting in the front seat, and so you can tell I have leg room. There's your vents, and you can control the vents with this little controller here. Again, more leg room, speakers in the door. I mean, this is a well-built machine. I can't tell you how impressed I am with this thing. We don't see a lot of Mercedes come through here, being a Chevrolet and a Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram store, so we don't see a whole lot of that. Sorry, there's the view of our back lot. We don't see a whole lot of that come through, so man, when we get one that's, or if we do, it's old and the miles are high and usually on its last leg, and it's not worth the expense of trying to repair it. So getting one of these to come in that has been very well maintained, is, especially in this price range. I mean, I can't reiterate enough the value of this vehicle for the quality and how clean it is just unreal. All right, I think that's a good view of the back seat. I am going to go around and try to keep from melting and open up the hatch and give you a view of the cargo area and let you see what you think about that. All right, here we are. That was a look of the exterior, the interior, and I hope you got a good view of everything. I know the sun is so bright it's hard to get a good view. The unfortunate part is we close before the sun goes down, so it's hard for me to get quality videos without having the sun beating down on you. There's really no shade anywhere around here, so that's the challenge. But at least I hope you got a glimpse of how clean it is, how well maintained it's been, and how well they took care of it. So man, I tell you what, this vehicle we have priced now, taking consideration the windshield, and that's the reason why we have it priced as low as we do. We have it priced at $26,900. And so if you want a good quality pre-owned vehicle, and when I say quality, Mercedes Benz is kind of like the pinnacle of vehicles. That's what I can remember growing up. That's what, well, man, one of these days I'm going to be rich and I'm going to own a Mercedes Benz. Heck, they've even written songs about it. Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? They're a lot of quality. They're built with quality. That's the reason why they have the reputation they do. Just a super, super great vehicle. And this one has been so well taken care of that, it's well worth the investment, I guarantee you. Not to mention, even with the 60,000 miles on it, we do have warranties available. We actually warranty our vehicles for 3 months or 3,000 miles. We have what is called a high-tech plan that we put on every pre-owned vehicle that covers any major mechanical, electrical issues that you may have for the first 3 months or 3,000 miles. There is a $100 deductible on that, but it beats, the alternative where most used car dealers they will tell you that it's on once you drive off the lot. If it breaks in half, you own both halves. So that is not our goal. We certainly don't aim to try and sell you something that's going to be a headache. We do our very best to make sure that we run these through and make sure they're in good shape. But on that note, our mechanics are human, and so therefore that is why we make sure we put the warranty on there if the vehicle fits the criteria, age-wise and mileage-wise. That's why we put the warranty on there, is because what we don't want to have happen is if one of our mechanics accidentally miss something or overlook something, or something comes up even after the fact that wasn't there whenever you purchased it. We want you to be able to come back and know that, hey, 4Stars has you covered. We're gonna that's why we put the high-tech warranty on there, so that way you don't have to be stuck with a brand new car to you, and stuck with a brand new car, and first thing you know, you got it in the shop and having to pay for repairs, because nobody likes that feeling. And as a salesperson, I hate that feeling. There's nothing I hate worse than a customer calling me a week later that something broke on their vehicle, and knowing good and well there was nothing I could do about it. First and foremost, I'm not a mechanic, but I trust my mechanics to make sure the vehicles are mechanically sound and taken care of and serviced and all that before they hit the road. But again, they're human, and so just like all of us, they make mistakes and errors sometimes, and so we do provide that peace of mind for you, so that way you don't have to have that worry. And then again, also too, we do have financing options available. We don't care how you pay for it, whether you bring us $1 bills, $100 bills, whether you have your own financing, whether you write a check, wire the money. We have financing options available. We have most of the major lenders, national lenders. We have the factory lenders, both GM Financial, Chrysler Capital, and then we also have Stellantis, which is another branch of Chrysler that their financing arm. And then we have some of our local credit unions as well. So interest rates are getting better. There is so we are very, very competitive. What I see a lot of times, and it's not 100% of the time, but a majority of the time, whenever a customer comes in that already has their financing arranged, we are able to get you a little bit better rate and save you some money on that. So, hey, $1 is $1, whether you save it on the price of the vehicle or if you save it in the finance office, in your loan. That's anything we can do to help save you some money. That's what we're going to do. So, again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I hope you got some good information on it. I hope you understand how clean and amazing this vehicle is. I think I said that about 15 times. But again, we don't see that very often come through here on such a nice vehicle. Usually people that trade these types of vehicles in, when we get them, they're done with them. And they've been used and they've been driven a lot. And so they're just to the point of where they just go to the auction. So it's a great, like I said, great vehicle. A lot of creature features, a lot of things, comfortable ride, and like I said, priced great. $26,900 again for such a quality vehicle. Man, that's just that's hard to believe. That's down in the price range of a Trax, and nothing against the Trax. I love the Trax. I think Chevy makes a great vehicle. But this vehicle is head and shoulders above what the Chevy Trax is as far as equipment and things like that. So, again, thank you for taking the time to watch. If you get a chance, check out my Facebook page. Everybody Loves Deals with Monty. I'm putting videos out there daily, trying to put videos out there daily, if not every couple days. And I'm starting a podcast soon. Also, Everybody Loves Deals with Monty. Where I intend to break down open some curtains, I guess, pull back the curtains on the car business, as far as things like, what goes on in a car deal, what's happening, why are they taking so long, why does the salesperson go back to the sales manager's office, why do some dealers throw me into the finance office and it takes me hours, and the guy just, or girl, just browbeats me into submission. Why do dealers have markups on their vehicle? Why do they put addendums on their market adjustments? Or why do they put extra, add extra things to the vehicle like window tint, paint sealant, things like that? Why do they do that? Interest rates, where we're at as far as as far as the rates going up, going down, where we're sitting. And then the best part is, man, I've done this for 30 years. The best part is I'm not going to talk to you the whole time. I'm not going to lecture you about interest rates. I'm not going to lecture you about how to pick out a vehicle. I'm not going to lecture you on how to buy a vehicle. That's not my goal. We're going to talk about things that'll help give you some information, but also too, we're going to have fun. And so I love trucks. I love the car business, but more importantly, I love my family. I love sports. I'm a huge sports fan. Anything we can talk about as far as, especially our regional teams here, the Mavericks, the Stars, the Rangers, the Cowboys, and most importantly, my beloved Texas Longhorns. If anything we can talk about with those, anything going on with those teams, or that we want to talk about, that you want to talk about, both on my Facebook page and on my podcast, we're going to have those conversations. I'm going to bring in some customers to have conversation with. I'm going to bring in some management staff from the dealership to have conversation, to kind of there again break down the wall that is between the customer and the dealership, because I know, man, the fear that everybody has, or the horror stories that they've heard, and the worry that they have about going to a dealership, and oh my gosh, I don't want to go through that. I got better things to do on a Saturday, but I need a car and I don't know what to do. There's a reason that my saying, my slogan is that I make car, truck, and SUV buying easy and fun. I'm not here to run you through the gauntlet. I am not here to try to make you pay the most that you'll pay, as much as, there's no dishonesty or non-transparency about any of the deals that I work. I'm fully transparent. Everything gets brought up front. You will see no addendums on my vehicles. And we make it a simple process. When we put vehicles out on the internet, they're priced very aggressively. And one of the things, and that's the hardest thing to get through, a lot of people that you bought cars in the past, and even as salespeople, this was a challenge for us too. For the longest time, we didn't have internet. When I started, there was no internet, and there definitely wasn't no internet sales. And so when I started selling cars, you depended on the people coming in, kicking tires, and going from one lot to the next. And so that was a whole different world. That's where the car business has changed, because that's not the way it works anymore. When you advertise, but nobody knew your prices unless they checked the newspaper, and nowadays I don't know that anybody even advertises in the newspaper anymore. Not that I'm aware of. I'm sure some do, but when you put prices of vehicles online, you better be pretty aggressive. Because that's the way everybody's doing their marketing now. That's the way they're doing their advertising, is they're putting their vehicles online, in Car Gurus, in Carfax, in cars.com, places like that, Facebook, and then of course their own dealership website. They're putting those out there. Well, everybody's doing that. And so when someone pulls up 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 1500, and you've got it priced the way we used to do it, back before the internet and all that, before, the way we used to do it is we had a set markup on every vehicle, whether it be $4,000 or $5,000, just because that way you always start high and you work your way down. Well, now that's not how. We can't do that, because if you put a vehicle out on cars.com or on Facebook or whatever, and you've got it marked up 2, 3, 4 grand, you've defeated your purpose, because you're just wasting money on the advertising, because that's that doesn't work, because you're going to be obviously way higher than everybody else in the marketplace, and you're not going to get any phone calls, and that vehicle is going to sit there for days on end until you end up having to cut the price anyway. So what we have learned is what we do. We're market based. We take the vehicle, um, and we check the market and see what vehicles are priced out there in the market. Now we have to take that into consideration when we're trading for them too. Um, but we take the market, and that Silverado with comparable miles, comparable equipment, within, we go about 250 to 500 miles out. Basically, how far we go. We don't get too far, but and see what's the. Now you don't necessarily. We're not necessarily going to be the cheapest, because the cheapest is probably the guy that didn't run it through service and detail and take care of the little things on the vehicle. But you also can't be the most expensive. And so we try to be in that top tier of the top, two or three vehicles, as far as price wise, top two or three at least. And if we're one, that's great. If it works where we've been able to trade for the vehicle, it didn't need anything much in service, just normal maintenance and detail, then there you go. But usually they need something. And to be honest with you, we want them to find something, because that means they're looking for it, looking for something that needs to be done, because you don't want to come in here and buy something that's going to need work quickly after you buy it. So, but that's, in a nutshell, that's kind of how the pricing works. And so, man, I'm telling you, we're here to make sure that your buying process, that you enjoy the buying process. I mean, nobody really loves going out and spending that much money. But I tell you what, like I said, I started selling cars in 1993, and no better day for me than the days I get to take home a new vehicle. That's just, I'm like a kid at Christmas. I can't wait. I'm excited. And I don't like to drive. That's what's funny about it. When I'm at home, when I'm off, I've got a little bubble that I stay in. I don't get out and go to anywhere outside of I have about a 5-mile radius that if it's not the grocery store, Walmart or Sutherland's, or my mom's, then I really don't get out of that bubble, unless I'm forced to, unless it's, absolutely necessary. So, but I love getting a new car. I love, and that's a problem for me. I love when the new ones come in, man, I got to have the newest, and I want it, and I want it now, and it doesn't matter. I'm going to figure out a way to make it happen. And so, that's a problem for me. But anyway, that's a lot of do about nothing. So I wanted to make sure you saw the vehicle. This is a super nice vehicle. If you have any questions, again, please go and like my Facebook page. Everybody Loves Deals with Monty, or you can search Deals with Monty, is a way to find it, and you can see my videos. I'm just getting started. This is all new to me, so make fun of me while you can, because I'm getting better. No camera fear. I've kind of lost that. I've kind of gotten to where I enjoy making these videos. Looking forward to doing many more. I can't get my service department to get these vehicles out fast enough for me, so just trying to get you some information out there. Also, be looking for the podcast. I'm going to be we'll be starting the podcast here pretty quick. I've already done a couple of trial runs just to see what I thought, how I liked it, and so I'm tweaking some things there. But the goal is there to make you. I want you to be able to feel comfortable with me, especially if you're here local. But here's the thing: not only local, we deliver everywhere. I mean, I've delivered cars to New York. I've delivered cars to North Carolina. I've delivered cars to California. So don't think, Kansas, Missouri, Colorado. I mean, we've delivered cars all over the place, and so we have a driver that trailers those vehicles. And if you have transport, we obviously allow you to set up transportation yourself as well. But that is, I want you to feel like that you can reach out to me and know that when it comes to the value, the price of the vehicle, that we're very fair. We are market based again, and we also on trade-ins, we're very fair. We're market based. We have to look out there and see if it's a supply and demand issue, if there's very few of certain vehicles, if a vehicle's cold, if it's something that's not really selling. There's some vehicles that they buy for fleet vehicles like rental cars. You'll see a lot of some of the smaller, Chevrolet has them, but you'll also Ford, but a lot of the small imports or mid-size imports, you'll see a lot of those in rental car service. So what happens is they buy them in bunches, and then when they get ready to turn that inventory, that's when they run them through the auction, and so then you'll have a plethora of, whatever mid-size vehicle that is out there on the market, so it's flooded. So, and if that's the situation, well, then you got to really be careful on, pricing that, because if you're, in there in the same price range as those guys, well, you're no different than the other 100 that's out there. So you've got to be able to set yours apart. There's a lot of things that go into it, and there's reasons why we do. We're not here to not do business. We're here to do business. It's just got to make sense for both parties, and the most important party is you, because if it doesn't make sense to you, then it doesn't matter what I think. But I want you to understand why we do what we do, and we're going to go through all that. We're going to get into that, and what you'll find is I am long-winded and I like to talk, and so but we're going to have guests, and so the plan is to not having to hear me for long stretches. We'll get to hear some other people. I plan on interviewing the general manager, the finance manager, service guys, salespeople, customers. I want to get all different kinds of people here involved, and try to get you some information so you feel more confident when you walk into the dealership and knowing what's going on. And even though, it's still a tense process a lot of times, just because, it's a big investment. And so there's a lot of nerves involved. Our true goal is simply to understand where it is you are trying to get to, what you're trying to accomplish, and to make that happen for you. So thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope that you've learned something today. I hope you found that this Mercedes is a beautiful vehicle. It is still for sale. It is still here. 26.9. Give me a call, 940-235-9345. Shoot me a text, same number. Email me at dealswithmonty@gmail.com. And please go to my Facebook page and like and subscribe so we can get more content out. And I will look forward to visiting with you soon. I hope you have a great day, and I hope that you and your family are blessed.
Thanks for tuning in to the Everybody Loves Deals with Monty Podcast, where the deals are easy and the stories are real.